Hello everyone, welcome to Steven Shinder Reviews in video form. I just wanted to hop on in this little sliver of free time that I had to talk about the latest Doctor Who episode, The Story and the Engine. I ended up really liking this one, which was a relief because a couple episodes before it, I was feeling like I was liking them less and less. So, really happy that I ended up enjoying this one. And also, happy birthday to Verada Sethu. Apparently, it's her birthday as this video is coming out. And yeah, I've really been enjoying the Belinda and Doctor team this season. So, this episode, I remember seeing Russell T Davies say that this is kind of, in a way, a companion piece to Dot and Bubble from last season. Dot and Bubble touched on racism, and this one, The Story in the Engine, very much celebrates black culture. So, very much a contrast there. And that also makes me think about how there's kind of a pattern between the first and second seasons of the 15th Doctor. So, obviously they each began with a Christmas special or were preceded by Christmas special. Then we get a more futuristic series premiere or season premiere with Space Babies and the Robot Revolution. One of those being the clear superior episode between the two. And then after that, we get the Devil's Cord and Lux, which each bring in a new god of the pantheon or whatever. And of course, we get more god talk in this one, in the story in the engine. But yeah, so those are the second episodes. And then the third episodes of the seasons are Boom and The Well, which each involve a character having to stay in the same place for a long time, and it's more suspenseful, you know. Then episodes 4 are the Ruby centric Dr. Light episodes, and now we get to episodes 5, which, I mentioned Russell T said something about this being sort of a counterpoint or companion piece to Dot and Bubble, something like that. I don't have the wording right in front of me. I know how frustrating that can be. And episode 6 looks like it'll be an episode that references Eurovision, whereas previous season, episode 6, Rogue, was very Bridgerton reference heavy. So we get both of these episodes that are referencing other shows and whatnot. And then, of course, the two-part finales. So I do wonder if I look back at Russell T's first era, if there would be parallels there as well. Um, I mean, this has to be on purpose, right? For this era, like, there's no way it's just a coincidence. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know quite how I feel about this pattern at the moment. I almost kind of wonder if it'll be brought up in universe in some sort of meta way. But this season seems to be playing more with meta stuff in some corners. But I enjoyed this episode and what it had to, I guess, add to the conversation about gods and the pantheon, even though I'm not that super into the whole gods of it all. I guess I'm interested in seeing these different villains. I just don't know that the big picture of it is really driving my curiosity. I like these character interactions. And getting into spoilers in this episode, I thought that the spider looked really cool, better episode than Arachnids in the UK. The whole thing with the web, like, there was stuff I really enjoyed in this episode. You got this barbershop, and the doctor tries to debunk a claim by referencing all the gods that he has met, and I assume that past incarnations are what he's referring to, who have encountered these gods. There is a mention of Loki, and in that moment I thought, huh, I wonder if they could have had Tom Hiddleston there for a couple seconds if they really wanted to. And then, lo and behold, he mentions that he and Saga watched all the Marvel movies up until Avengers Endgame. So there's at least a little tip of the hat there. But yeah, the thing that people are talking a lot about is the return of Joe Martin as the fugitive doctor in new footage on this show. Granted, this cameo only lasts a couple of seconds. It's when the doctor explains, he says something along the lines of, uh, like, like I guess in a past life he was like, I couldn't let you travel with me. I was a fugitive back then. And we see a little bit of, I guess, what's supposed to be the fugitive doctor delivering the 15th Doctor's dialogue in that moment, that present moment. And maybe it's, this is for the audience, it's a perception thing, just so that we know that it was her incarnation in that past event that's being referenced. And for a cameo so brief, part of me wonders if there is more planned for her in this era. But then again, in the episode Rogue, they pretty much got Richard E. Grant just for a photo shoot and then just let him off on his merry way. So I don't know. I'd like to see more of the fugitive doctor on the show. I am certainly glad that we have the audio series covering her adventures, but really appreciate that this era is still playing with some of the things that Chris Chibnall started. There was that whole thing with the flux, and it felt like the impact of that only lasted into the wild blue yonder and nothing beyond it really. And there's a mention of the Doctor being adopted last season, so that has certainly stayed. And with the fugitive Doctor included here, it seems like that arc, that mystery is still being touched upon. And there is a question of, so does this doctor have some of those memories back or just part of them? There's that fob watch that never really came back in the show. So I gotta wonder if the doctor at some point maybe looked into it, or if maybe, I don't know, during the 14th Doctor's life, maybe he found out some stuff, but I don't know. Speaking of past Doctors, there's also what I call, I guess, the brain of Morbius moment, where you get images or footage of past Doctors and it uh, overloads something, and that happens here. We see footage of past Doctors on a screen here. So I thought that was done pretty well here. It's often done well whenever it happens. I think it even happened in the Timeless Children. So, little brain of Morbius echo there, I guess you could say. Overall, enjoyed this episode. I'd give it an 8 out of 10, I would say. Like I've said, the spider looked great, better than the ones in Arachnids in the UK, and better story overall than that. The web and the concept, what they how they talk about storytelling in general in this episode, I quite enjoyed. Mrs. Flood, I still have no guesses about who she is. I kind of still don't care. I don't have any guesses, so we'll see how that plays out. But very curious to see what'll happen in these remaining 3 episodes of the season. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the story and the engine. This is Steven Shinder Reviews in video form, and I'll see you all soon.